Hey, Boix.
Mm-hmm.
Boix. Do you want to see my Peekaboo Mysterio?
Why do you keep asking me this?
It's got an omnidirectional laser.
I've already seen your giant carved wooden tree with red go-go boots and a giant schlong. I don't need to see your omnidirectional laser tree either.
Hey,
or whatever it is.
My Peekaboo Mysterio.
Stop asking me to look at your Peekaboo
Welcome
Mysterio.
to Rough Cuts. We're all gonna check out our Peekaboo Mysterios.
Peekaboo Mysterio flying saucer with Omni-Directional Laser Turret movement.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
I'm telling you, that fog back there, I've never seen anything like it.
Would anybody like some cookies? Fresh baked from the oven.
This is the best cookie I've ever had.
Why don't you guys all stay with us for the weekend? We have plenty of room, and we have all the amenities that resorts have.
This is you?
This is our summer house. We try to keep work to a minimum. Relax, exercise, enjoy nature.
Hi. Hi, I'm Ilion. This is my wonderful co-host, Borks. We watched Santa's Summer House,
I did get bait and switched here.
which is apparently a Riff Tracks also.
There's a Rift Tracks version of this, apparently. I got bait and switched because there is a corgi on the cover, and there's technically a corgi in the movie.
I think it's like a corgi mix, though. It's not the same dog. It's definitely not the same
It's not
dog.
the same one as the cover.
It's definitely not like... Because, like, the one on the cover is one of those, like, very typical Queen's corgis, like, orange and white.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in the movie is, like, tortoiseshell, like, black, orange, white. Like, it's, like, a bunch of colors.
That said, I think we stumbled upon gold.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Not for an audience. An
No,
audience
no,
would not enjoy this.
Depends on the audience. Do you want to see a Peekaboo Mysterio?
I almost want to force my friends to watch this as a joke.
I don't think that it would be forcing them. I think that this is the perfect kind of movie to get, like, 3 or 4 friends to sit around and just gawk at.
Holy shit.
I mean,
yeah.
you do it at, like, the end of a night when you're all real drunk. But, like, you bring friends over, you play some tabletop games for, like, a few hours. You start getting trash where everybody's starting to forget the way that the games go. And then you're like, all right, I got something for this.
I got some shit for you.
Let's pull out Santa's Summer House. Who wants to watch Santa's Summer House?
Speaking of, by the way, that is Ilion. I am Boix. We are your hosts. Did we? I don't know.
I did say that.
Fucking lost.
I did say I'm Ilion and this is Boix. We're Rough Cuts.
What
we
is
watch
happening?
good boys and bad movies. We do podcasts
I'm so lost
about
on
bad
this
dog
fucking
movies.
movie. My
You're
brain's
just still
in
lost
a mush.
in the sauce. Yeah.
My brain is gone.
Are you saying that there's a fog in your head that's whisking you away to Santa's summer home?
Is there some sort of mist with creatures I can't see on the outskirts that we drive through and leads us to a location that we did not expect?
It'd be less terrifying to be in the mist than to be in Santa's summer home, I think.
Fuck. This is a wild film. I don't even know where to start with this fucking thing. I really don't.
This movie is so boring. It's so unbelievably boring and nothing happens. But also, every character's motivations and the way that they talk and their acting is so incomprehensibly bad and weird that it elevates it to extremely interesting just on the pure basis. Because, like,
yeah,
the movie it has a 15-minute, we're not joking, like, did you time the whole thing? Was it full 15 or was it only like 12?
It was 11 or 12, somewhere around there.
Okay, 12.
But it's straight.
Yes, it has a full, uninterrupted 12-minute croquet match that is shot out of order. Where, like, they will show a guy do a shot and talk about the shot that he's doing, and then 2 minutes later, they will show the preceding lead-up to said shot. They have screen wipe transitions of gingerbread men and jingle bells and snowmen. And
this movie, from a filmmaking perspective, I think it does literally everything wrong.
Which
is
much.
So hard.
Not
so
everything.
Hard to do.
Not everything. It does have sound, unlike Love on a Leash. It does
they didn't forget to put the music in. That's true.
They didn't forget to put the music in. They did actually have people mic'd a lot of the time, or at least a boom mic. We know there was a boom mic because it was in a few shots.
Yeah,
there was
more
than one shot.
Quite a few shots of like somebody holding the camera and their finger over the lens.
Yes. Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, somebody should have stopped them and edited this thing in a way that made sense and got a different
couldn't edit this in a way that made sense. Fuck you. You take up that Herculean task. What editor could do that?
Not to get it to film feature length, no, but
I don't think you could get this. This
maybe a 20-minute television special or something, right? Like, it would still be creepy as fuck, though. Like, they also got wrong.
Oh, yeah, this is real creepy. With the footage that you had, there is no editing in the universe that could save this thing.
So, imagine a Christmas movie that starts like The Hills Have Eyes.
And in the summer.
In Florida.
Yes,
right?
In Florida, that granola state.
Yeah, for granola people. The hippie Florida.
Yeah, the hippie state, Florida.
Right? Because, like, there's a tour guide named Mike driving a family unrelated visitors from Australia to the
I've
state
tried
of
to
look.
I looked everywhere to try and find the relationship of the three people that we didn't understand, and I have gotten no closer. I have no idea what their relationship was.
He's driving an Australian couple and their son, two sisters?
Yes, definitely. No, that part makes sense.
And some guy who's maybe related to the sisters, maybe not, and definitely wants to bang one of them.
Yes, I was going to say, the wild card here is Brent, or whatever the fuck. Brian. Yes.
I don't know who that guy is. I really don't. He's a rocket scientist, rich white
Elon
guy
Musk.
Who's spoiled and has never done anything in his life, but has succeeded anyways off of other people's. Holy shit, it is Elon Musk.
It is 100% the Elon Musk origin story. It's creepy as fuck. It's incredible.
He's an unlikable douchebag.
This man's buying Twitter.
He came out of the womb divorced.
Yes, his origin story. His origin story when Santa gets around to him about why he doesn't have Christmas spirit is that from when he was born, his parents divorced, and he's just been always known about divorce, and he's super entwined in divorce, and you're like, yup. The most divorced man in existence.
He's got so much divorced energy. Yep.
It flows in his veins.
So, yeah, but Mike is driving these people to a resort, and then he goes through a fog cloud mist, which teleports him to a Zillow McMansion.
Which also, I would like to point out that this is all before the film starts.
Yes.
They just reference this because they couldn't actually shoot a fog. There's no way that they had the budget or technical know-how to do that.
And somebody else is narrating the intro and say, that's Mike right there driving. Then who the fuck are you?
Yes. Yeah, there's just a random narrator, but only for, like, the first 2 minutes of the movie.
But it's shot like it's Mike talking to himself in his head. And it's so fucking weird. And then we get literally all of the movie's credits in like a 10-minute sequence.
I disagree. I think that sequence was actually really short. It's just, it had all of the credits in it, but it was doing it like double time. Like it was twice the speed that you'd normally get credits so that it could still fit them all in. But it was every single person involved in the production.
Every single person. Like
in the opening credits, yes.
Yeah, they put like the boom mic operator, the fucking...
Yes, yeah.
The makeup artist.
Head gaff, yeah. Like all of Best Boy, like all of that shit is in the opening credits. And it's played at like double time to make it kind of close to what opening credits would normally be, so it's like you can barely read them.
And this is what I mean, like they've done literally everything wring in this movie.
Yes, yeah.
Because they also put the credits at the end. Like,
yes.
Yep. Anyway, they get to the McMansion, and everybody gets out of the van, and Mike's like, this isn't the resort, I don't know how I got here. And then everybody else is like, this isn't the resort, why are we here?
And then Cynthia Rothrock comes out of the house, passes Mike the absolute shittiest business card of all time that says that she's Mrs. Claus. It's on like a... You know, like, those coupons that you get from, like, a grocery store that are kind of glossy? It's that paper. That's what this business card is.
Yeah, you were saying, like, Patrick Bateman would not be impressed.
No. Yeah, Patrick Bateman would be like, phew!
It's like,
off the hook.
It's cut at an angle. It uses shitty fonts. It's... Something's wrong with this business card. They didn't put any effort into making this, which is weird, because all the other props they made were so good. It's... Like when they tacked a bunch of snowflakes on the wall so it looked Christmassy.
Oh, they fucked that wall up so bad. They put thumbtacks all over that goddamn wall.
Or when they wrapped a plastic, like, bin storage that they got at Walmart for $10 in gift wrap.
And said that it was Santa's
workshop. And now
workshop.
It's Christmassy. It's his workshop, see?
That was Santa's entire workshop, boys. I just want to point out that and his computer. They walk in on Santa's workshop. That's his workshop. He has a shitty plastic bin with bows on it and a laptop that he uses with all of his fingers at once, like slamming his hands on.
He slaps on it like Keyboard Cat.
Yes.
Yes. And yeah, it's fucking weird.
So yeah, 90s Hong Kong superstar Cynthia Rothrock comes out, gives Mike this shitty business card, and then Brunt looks at him and goes, "Hey, Cletus," which is both the most and least racist thing I've seen in this movie.
It's because that's to Mike, right? Like the driver.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mike is Asian American.
He's Asian.
And he calls him Cletus for some reason as a slur.
He's acting like he's a mark. Yeah, he's acting like he's insulting him as being a hillbilly.
I guess.
Like I said, I'm not sure if I was supposed to be offended for that or not. I just...
Yeah, so they realize they're at the wrong place, though, is the point. And Mrs. Claus is like, oh, why don't you all just stay here? What a convenient situation.
Here are my cookies that you can have. And they all just dig into the cookies and then wander into this person's
into their McMansion. Yeah.
This obvious kill room.
Yeah, so we find out... What do we find out? We find out that Brian is a rocket scientist, Elon Musk. One of the sisters named Molly is into photography, which is a fucking shame of a profession.
It's a useless garbage, shame of a profession that nobody could make money at. Unlike the honored, beautiful tradition that they have already of making pies, which pays all their bills.
Well, they're a food catering business, is what they are.
But they specifically mention pies over and over and over. It's only pies. The only thing that they cater is pies.
That's her sister, Connie? That sounds right. And then the Australian couple and their son.
Well, the Australian couple and their very American
and their American son.
Yes.
The dad is Kenshiro in the live-action Fist of the North Star.
Yes, he is.
And he's also Brian Fury in the live-action 90s Tekken movie, by the way.
God.
So there's all these kung fu actors in this film, for some reason. It's like they just got together at one of their friends' McMansions and recorded themselves playing croquet later on. And then the wife is like, because he's a business guy and he missed his...
He's the most business guy.
Yeah, his job is he does business, and he missed his presentation, his I don't know, convention he had to go to.
There's a convention, but it got weird weather. Uh-oh. And that's why he couldn't go to it, and he has to go on vacation now. Ugh. Because all he wants to do is business, business, business.
And his wife's job is that she hates him. Because he's a useless prick that everybody hates, and she loathes looking at his fucking ugly mug.
Yup.
That's her job.
He's so business, he has a big background story that he tells Santa about, well, but I have to be super business all the time because there's a young kid in my office who never goes home to sleep and doesn't have a wife or kid. And so all he does is sacrifice for this business, and I'm going to be ending up cleaning his executive toilet if I don't make VP. Which...
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mike left them there to escape the horrible fog nightmare of this McMansion. Yes. To go back to the resort, because he doesn't have a cell phone. To ask
and he needs
them...
to find where the resort is. Yeah, he's gotta. He's trying to find where it is.
Well, this is like the MapQuest days. The MapQuest told him to drive off a cliff, right? So...
Yeah. And fucking Cletus here to it.
Yeah, and so he goes to the resort, and then he calls back to the McMansion, and Mrs. Claus answers. And it turns out that they double booked all of their reservations. I guess. And so now they have nowhere to stay. So now they have to stay at the McMansion. Oh, what a coincidence.
Yeah, Mrs. Claus is like, ooh, well, that means that you can just spend the night here with me. And it's like, okay, we're leaving. Kids, kids, pack up. Let's.
Very creepy. Yeah.
Don't pack. Actually, you know what? Can we get an Uber? No, there's no Uber yet. All right, we'll walk. Let's run. Run, kids. Kids, run. Like,
all of this is a horror movie setup. Every single bit of it.
You would immediately leave. There's no way that you would want to spend another second in that goddamn house the minute that she's asking like this.
So instead, they all sit down for dinner in the dining room. And they start asking themselves, wait, has anybody ever seen the Lord of this Manor? Like they're talking about Dracula or something.
Yes. Yeah.
And as they mention that name, Yacht Santa walks out.
Okay. Yacht Santa... Boix, I'm not going to try and insult you, but Yacht Santa could just... He's you without the goatee... Because he's totally clean-shaven and, like, 20, 30 years older.
He's a pudgy yacht man in a Hawaiian shirt, which is very me. Yes, that's true. And minus the yacht.
Just, like, blonde hair. Like, he's not even really gray yet. Like, he's half gray. He has no beard.
He's very not a Santa.
He's the most not a Santa I think I've ever seen. It's incredible how not Santa this man is.
Mrs. Claus is also very not a Mrs. Claus in the traditional sense. She's like dyed hair,
Santa's hot wife,
hot stay-at-home wife.
Well, like she shows up to give them cookies in an apron and but with like a low neckline and like it's like a sexy maid apron.
It's definitely a
Santa
sex
outfit.
thing,
like
which is fine because the McMansion is definitely a porn set.
Yes.
So
yes.
So it's fine. It makes sense.
The way he comes in and says like so he does Santa things like go ho 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 ho
And then he forgets that he's supposed to be Santa, and then he puts more effort into it again afterwards.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho.
They kept all... Every time he does that, they just kept all of the takes in, too.
I can't even replicate it. It's so... He's just so weirdly stilted at it, and, like... You need to play it up. It needs to be a belly laugh, right? It needs to be a ho, ho, ho. He goes ho, 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 ho. Like, he does it like it's like giggle or something. I don't know. I can't possibly.
I don't know what they
were
going for. I really don't. But they sit down for dinner, and Yacht Santa walks out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Yacht Santa. You could call me Pops. That's my sex name."
And this is Nana. You can call her Nana.
Yeah, she likes that.
She likes that too.
And then one of the guys is like, "Pops, what are we doing here?" "Oh, that's a good question, Brian." And then Brian's like, "How the fuck do you know my name? I didn't tell you shit." And Santa's like, "Oh, I know all your names." And he pulls out a list of all of their names, and that's not fucking creepy.
Yeah, Nana gave me a list of all your names when you introduced yourself to her.
It's like threatening too.
Yes, very much so. No, I know who you all are. I know which rooms you're in. I know where you're staying.
And I know that it's July, but we're gonna have a gift exchange.
Yeah, why don't we do a gift exchange? And all of these total strangers look across the table and go, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah, it sounds fine. Yeah.
And they go like, "What? Like a secret Santa?" And he goes, "Oh, ho, 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 no, no, no." Like a what? Like a different thing. And they're like, "What? Like a white elephant?" And he goes, "Yes, like a white elephant. Let's all find the best gifts to give each other for this white elephant."
It's like a white elephant, except I'm going to do something different and give you all a gift instead, which is not a white elephant. And I also want you to find good gifts, not bad gifts, like a white elephant. Some would call it a secret Santa.
Some would say that this isn't the white elephant at all, and that it's a secret Santa. But not me, Santa Claus, because I'm a fucking moron.
All the characters have a very good question at this point. They are being held captive at this McMansion.
Yes.
They don't have a vehicle. So they have a very valid question. Where are we going to get gifts?
Yep. Also, there was another valid question by somebody at one point, which is, "Where's the Wi-Fi?" There was the reply of, "We don't have the intertubes."
We don't have the intertubes. I think she also says we don't have Wi-Fi's here.
Yes, she does. Yeah. She does mention inner tubes later. I think that some of this is on purpose as a joke. I think that they're not entirely...
It's so hard to tell,
they're not entirely clueless. It's really hard to tell.
It's really hard to tell.
It is almost impossible to know when they're being jokey and when they're not. And it kind of elevates this movie in a lot of ways, because you can just assume that all of it is serious and just be fine.
What we're finding out after this is that everybody has their own individual problems which need to be solved. So, like, the sisters are bickering because the catering sister doesn't like the other sister doing photography. That
fucking trash garbage industry of photography.
That literally nobody should ever have a profession in, Yeah,
that any monkey can hit a button, and so no one would ever pay you for it, you fucking idiot.
Like, I can do Photoshop, so I don't know if you know anything about that. But
no.
Photography is very easy. Any child.
Extremely.
Photography.
Yeah. I have a Google Pixel. It just takes great photos. People often ask if that's from my fancy DSLR, and I feel like a fraud because I tell them it's
it's the Google Pixel. Yeah, I put my Pixel on one of those Gorilla stands, and then I set it to panorama, and that just solves my problem.
It's perfect, yeah.
Every time, yeah.
You can shoot it in any low light or anything.
Yeah, it works.
Buy the new Google Pixel 6.
Anyway, so they all have problems. The kid,
I might be slightly annoyed at those ads. I might just...
The kid wants to travel. And we know because the last time he was given a choice to travel, he chose to go to a very exotic Canadian location.
Jesus
Winnipeg.
Christ. Jesus Christ. To put this in perspective, so I'm Canadian, so I can understand this, but like I was trying to think of the best way to make this matter so that like American audiences can understand. This is somebody talking about going, yeah, I wanted to visit the exciting land of America, so I went to their coolest city, Boise, Idaho. Which, that's not to say that Boise is a terrible city. I don't know a whole lot about Boise, but nobody is going there for their cool vacation. Like that.
Nobody's like Boise is the new New York City.
No,
like that.
No one's like, boy, I can't wait to go to that wonderland of magic, Boise, Idaho.
And I've been to Winnipeg a couple times, and I don't think I would ever tell
have I.
anybody I've been to Winnipeg. There's nothing memorable happened in Winnipeg.
No, it's in the middle of one of the prairie provinces.
Yeah,
So it's just like middle America. Like, it's a fairly large city. It's like almost 1 million people.
And that's the only reason I've been there is because I'm from the Midwest and I can drive.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
it's just a very bland Midwest city in a flat as fuck farmland area with nothing to do around it. Like, the city, I'm sure, gets some stuff to it, but it's not...
The Australian couple are having relationship problems because the wife hates her husband and she doesn't like him at all because he's a piece of shit and everybody should hate him. And related, the Elon Musk-like Brian is a shitty person who has big divorce energy, who everybody hates.
And for some reason, he can't get a date.
And
so
he
he's
can't
got to
get a
ask
date.
the 17-year-old kid.
Oh no, that kid's 15.
He says that he's 17 in the movie, though.
He does?
Yes, in the hot tub, he says he's 17.
Fucking goddamn it. Anyway.
Also, I gotta say that 17-year-old is the most well-adjusted 17-year-old of all time. He is just, like, endlessly positive and nice to everybody for no fucking reason.
It's probably the well-adjusted character in the movie. Like, most
well-adjusted. Yeah, he's the most adult, well-adjusted character in this movie by a huge margin, and it's amazing.
So Brian and Pops are chatting near a croquet set, and they're talking about, sports and, curling, important sports that everybody plays.
And let me paint the scene for you, too, just a little bit more. Near this $10 Walmart special. Sorry, no.
The $10 croquet set.
The Kmart special that's actually sat in the garage for 30 years. Is what it is, really.
They definitely rented this McMansion for the shot, like for the shooting. It's so bad. But yeah, they set up this shitty $10 croquet set, and as they're arguing, Mrs. Claus and everybody else comes out of the McMansion and is like, "Oh, are you all playing croquet? Why don't we
the
argue
sport
about
of
the
kings."
Yeah, let's argue about the rules of croquet and who's gonna play. And then they spend 4 minutes in real time talking over each other and arguing about croquet and what stakes they're going to play for. And
because they go, why don't we put a wager on it like dishes? And business asshole is such a fucking boring prick that he's like, we can't do that. What are we teaching our son? Gambling? He's 17 and it's for dishes, you fuck.
It almost felt...
You boring ass piece of shit, you cardboard man.
Like, they're all rich white people. So, like...
Yes.
The punishment of having to do labor is I think, what they're upset about. Like, oh, what am I teaching my son? Doing labor instead of the hired help?
Also, I'm thinking that you're going with the rich angle. I'm going to go with the misogyny angle.
Oh,
because, well, the boys go in later on after they finish the croquet match. The boys all go, they're like, hey, what should we do? I don't know. All the women are making us our food, so why don't we just go in the hot tub? That's literally what they do.
That is what they do. But
that is an actual conversation they have.
The croquet match, as we mentioned, is like 11 to 12 real-time minutes of an actual family, quote-unquote, arguing in their backyard about croquet while playing croquet, and
You say playing.
The worst shots I've ever seen.
I think that they were maybe trying to keep the shot, like the ball, in camera frame is the only thing I can think of. Because they would line up a shot with the wicket, like, 10 feet away, and they would go like this.
From Return of the Jedi, yeah.
They'd spend a whole bunch of time just sitting there like lining it up, getting it ready, and they would tap it 2 inches. And they'd go, oh, I almost made that shot. And then they would do it again, and then again, and then again.
And again.
And again. For 12 minutes.
They were giving the actors directions of where to hit the croquet ball, and in real time. And one of the actors is like, wait, I have to shoot it that way, that whole thing? And they're like, yes, this direction. Well, can I hit it this way? I guess.
No.
If you want. Just hit the fucking ball. And then, yeah, like you said, there were editing issues where they, like, showed a scene of a shot happening, and then they show the precursor to that scene 2 minutes later. So it's like, wait, are they redoing scenes? Did they put the same scene in twice? What happened here? How did this happen again?
Yeah, they reuse the same shots. They have the ending of the croquet game where they're even going like, all right, this is the last shot, guys. Get ready. It's going to be we're almost done. This is for all the marbles. And that's 6 minutes in. And then they just start going back, and they start showing people being like, oh, okay, well, how do I start this? And they're like, oh, put your ball there, and then you can start. It's your turn. And you're like,
did they play
we were just watching the end of the match. Why did this start over? But it's all just one match. Like, it's very obviously one match, because if you were to re-edit it, you could actually piece this together into a single cohesive match that just plays start to finish. They filmed the whole thing, start to finish, but they cut it every 30 seconds and then just shuffled the order randomly. And it's the most baffling thing possible to do with this.
On YouTube, there's content farms that do things wrong on purpose to try and get people to comment on their video.
Hey, would you like to see this toilet seat craft in 5 minutes?
This is a masterclass in engagement technology. Because I was furious. And it just kept going. And I got angrier and angrier.
And then finally we get to the end, which happens about 3 minutes before the actual end of the croquet match, where shithead businessman lines up a 2-inch fucking shot for the final wicket to win, and then shoots it at an exact 90-degree angle away from the wicket, which, because of the rest of the scene and the way that the shots had been going, I assumed was just the way that it was happening, but as it turns out, no, he's actually a giant garbage man and a terrible, terrible husband and father, because then, after they finish the match, he walks over to his wife, hugs her, kisses her on the neck, and goes, hey, honey, how did you like your gift? She goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And he goes, well, see, you're a weak, pathetic woman, so I threw the game for you so that we would do dishes. You're welcome! Jesus Christ! And, storms off. I can't believe I don't get any respect from you for being a patronizing asshole.
So, for the rest of the movie, she's depressed woman touching a wall because of this. And it's just...
She's literally laying in bed at different times, and he's like, do you just want to sleep more? And she goes, I just want to be alone.
What? Okay, anyways, the croquet game's done. The dudes get in the hot tub, and the girl... The women
do women's work in the kitchen.
They cook and clean, because fuck this movie. And anyway, Brian is in Santa's workshop, which is his I don't know. It's like an office.
It's just a spare bedroom office.
Spare bedroom office. And the walls are full of the best fucking photos of Santa. Like hang gliding and...
That woman would have never been able to do photography like this. She needs to quit her career. This is the best photography.
And there's one specific photo I was dying about because of the last scene, which is it's on a beach. It's a beach with a photoshopped evergreen, like a Christmas tree.
And like the Christmas tree, the evergreen Christmas tree looks like it might be like a fake miniature tree.
Yeah.
That they like enlarged to make it look big
in the middle of the sand,
and then they put gigantic starfish, like
and it's
gigantic,
huge real like starfish,
4 foot high starfish, up like they're standing on legs,
and Pops is standing there, and I noticed something with the corner of my eye, so I had to reverse the footage to look at it again. And
I was so busy with the starfish tree that I just totally missed this. The best part of it.
And Pops is standing here, definitely photoshopped in, holding 17 croquet hammers.
He's just holding the whole croquet set again. He just has the fucking thing with him all the time.
And I'm like,
there's one thing that you gotta know about Santa, and he fucking loves croquet, dude. He loves it.
And the whole time, I think... Oh, by the way, the whole time of the croquet match, Jingle Bells is playing to add to the insanity of that fucking scene. But this is the best photography I've ever seen. I don't know how they got all of that in one shot. Should win awards. Anyway.
Croquet, the sport of kings.
So they notice all these photos of Santa, and Brian is talking to the kid, and he's like, wow, this guy's really into Santa. It's super weird. How he really thinks he is Santa Claus. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. And the kid's like, oh, that is weird. I overheard them talking, like him and Mrs. Claus. Nana. And they're like, wow, we're really Santa and Mrs. Claus? And they were saying something about bringing us here for some nefarious purpose. It's really weird.
Yeah, they abducted us and stopped us from going to our resort because they wanted to take us into this McMansion.
Yeah, and bury our bodies.
Definitely not murder us. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not bury us like they did the owners.
Brian decides to take this information and confront them in front of the rest of the guests. And he's like...
Rather than just leave. Rather than
leave.
Well, or just like quietly tell the other group and be like, hey, I think that these guys are really weird. I think we need to get out of here. Like this is
why I said like it's a Hills Have Eyes situation or something. Like
yes,
this is fucked up.
I mean, you've got to remember. Like, let's just go back in time just a little bit. These people were on vacation, traveling together simply because. It's like being in an airplane with other people. Mm-hmm. Imagine that your airplane has to go to a different airport for some reason. You unload, and a guy just says, no, it's okay. You can stay at my house. And you just all actually stay there and play croquet together.
After he pulls out a list of your names, he's like, oh, I know all of you.
Yes. And now he's like, no, I'm Santa. You're here to stay. I made you come here. And you're not going to tell the other people, or you're not just going to leave yourself. Instead, you're going to be like, hey, man, this seems a little weird.
Yeah, so they confront him, and Pops is like, oh, don't worry, I can explain everything. Just sit down and let's have a chat. You see, I'm known by many different names in many different languages.
Besides Pop, I'm known by many different names in many different languages.
Lucifer, Morning Star, the Dark One, Beelzebub.
Why does he start that way, of all things?
Because we know what he really wanted to say.
And
this is the bad place.
This is the bad place. I summoned a fog to bring you here. You all died in a horrible van accident.
Yeah. That van, you went off a cliff in that fog, motherfuckers.
Goddamn MapQuest. After Pops tells them he's a demon, they get really mad at him, and they're like, you can't just abduct people to your McMansion for demonic purposes and feed them weird foods.
Oh, but I can. And
and we're very upset with you, so we're gonna stay just one more night, but I swear to God.
We're so gone by the end of the weekend. You have no idea. We could barely stand to stay out the rest of the week in your strange mansion with your weird wife.
How dare you?
How dare you abduct me and my son and all of these other random people?
All these random other people. Because Mrs. Claus goes up to Pops, Santa, later.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, did everybody leave? No, they decided to stay the rest of the weekend. But only that. Never longer than their original intended stay at their resort. Well, I think they're just mad at me because I abducted them.
I think I fucked up.
It's okay. You just need to teach them about the magic of Christmas cheer.
Oh, okay.
How will I do that? And then Mrs. Claus eyes towards this really shittily covered plastic filing drawer. And Santa's like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I know. I can give them the creep shot photos I have of them.
He has so much dirt on them. Yes, that's what he does. Because he goes to each of them. He goes to the kid first, who's named Andy. I remember his name now.
Yeah.
And he goes to the kid. He's like, "Hey, Andy, read this." And it's in day to night with this horror shot of lighting on his face.
Yes, and you say that he goes to the kid first, but he has the parents there.
Does he?
Yes, because remember the note at the end of the letter?
Yes. This is some
How could you forget the note
shit.
at the end of the letter? The note at the end of the letter is the best part of this.
He's like, yeah, but he throws the letter at him. He's like, read this, fucker. And Andy starts reading it.
Yes, yeah. I just want to do one last thing. Like you said, it's set up like horror, but it's also set up like horror Survivor, where they're voting somebody off the island, because it's like an interview is the way that it's shot, because it keeps going to Santa in center frame, like kind of high up, like he's almost on like a podium, and he's like, read this letter, and passes it across, and then it's the three of them like sitting down side by side, all like just in a row, and it just feels, and like with palm trees around them, I'm like, this is a fucking reality show where they're gonna kick somebody off. Like it's like it's giving them the letter to resign.
The two things that this could end with is this is why you're in hell.
Yes.
Or this is why I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like it's horror Survivor, so it's like, I'm voting you off the island and into this wood chipper.
Yes. But Andy's reading the letter. He's like, wait a minute, this is my letter that I sent to Santa. And then it cuts back to Pops and horror lighting again. He's like, yes it is, Andy.
Yeah.
Read it. Read it, motherfucker.
So he reads out his letter, which I don't remember what it says, except for, then he goes, all right, now, Mom. And they're all like, oh my God, it is his letter from when he was 8. That's incredible. How did you get this? And instead of running screaming at this point, he goes, Mom, I need you to read the last line. And she picks up the letter and she goes, oh yeah, this is what I added to his letter to Santa. P.S. Please make my shitty ass husband start paying attention to me and the rest of the family. He's such a fucking asshole. Thanks, Santa.
I think her wording was like, please make it possible for me to love my ugly, horrendous husband.
P.S. Santa. Please make it possible to love my mad, impetuous lug of a husband just a little more. Sadie.
Yeah, she did literally say, like, my ugly deadbeat, like, or something like that, like, ugly deadbeat,
it's
or
just
horrendous
awful.
Monster, or, like,
Fucking
and it's like,
awful.
Get a divorce!
There's somebody here who already knows about divorces you could ask.
As it turns out, we have an expert on staff right now. She appended a note about her shitty fucking
About
husband
her
to a
shitty
letter
husband.
to Santa. I just...
Which is apparently from 10 years ago. So she's been married to this guy for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, because he does this to every person. He goes to the sisters and he gives them letters that they sent. And they're like, Connie, the sister's been bitching out the photography sister. Reads a letter saying like, look, I know that my mom and dad died in a horrible accident, but I want you to make my sister happy, Molly. And then Molly reads her letter. She's like, yeah, I know my parents died in a horrible accident.
But I want you to make my sister happy.
That could have been prevented if Santa only did something. Anyways, make my sister happy. So now they realize, like, oh, we don't have to be shitty to each other, I guess, or whatever.
Sure. One of the best things about these letters is they do show them. Like, they show the writing on them, and they actually show the full letter. They're kind of, like, ripped out like they're children's arts and crafts pirate treasure maps. Do you know what I mean? Like, where they've got, like, the ragged edges like that. And... even better, all of them, every single time, they make a note of looking at them and being like, wait, this can't be real. No, wait, that's my handwriting. And it like zooms in on the letter, which is incredible when you can tell that it is very obviously the same handwriting on all of the letters.
I think Santa forged these letters. These blackmail letters, I think he forged them.
I mean, as I said during the movie, here's the easiest... this is my answer to Santa going like, handing me a letter and going, here's your letter from when you were 6 that you gave to me. And my answer would be, how the fuck should I remember that? It's like, and also, well, it's your handwriting. I don't remember what my handwriting was like when I was fucking 6.
Did you ever send a letter to Santa? I never did.
When I was in...
I do have a Santa story.
Probably for school or something.
I never sent a letter to Santa. But I was on a public access Santa show as a kid, and my parents recorded it.
That's the tape that we
know
need.
it. I know it happened because I saw the tape, and I wanted some Hot Wheels like set.
And I see this tape.
I don't know if they still have it. To be honest, they might in a box somewhere. Maybe next time I go home, I'll look for it. But the funniest thing is, I wanted some Hot Wheels set, which were expensive. Right? And I'm on this TV show with who I think is Santa, because I'm like 5.
Yes, yeah.
So I didn't want to ask him for that, because I felt like that would be asking for what I wanted, and it was expensive. So what I did was, all these other kids are going up asking for these expensive toys. And I go up and sit on his lap, and he's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, new shoes, socks, a shirt without holes in it. And my mom was so mad because it made us look so poor.
Look so embarrassed. Yeah, I can't even feed and clothe this child. You go up like Oliver Twist. You're like, what I would like is for to be able to eat breakfast 2 days in a row. Please, sir, can I have some gruel today?
And I think they still have a tape of that somewhere. I have to find it. It's the best thing.
That's really good.
But I never sent a letter to Santa, so this thing is super weird to me.
Oh, it's fucking, yeah. I mean, again, like, even if you send it, like, I don't remember if I sent a letter to Santa. I don't.
You might have.
How would I? Maybe. I probably, like, I don't think I ever would have on my own, but I'm sure that, like, as a project for school or something, I might have. But, like, I don't remember. That's 30 years ago. I don't remember.
So Santa also decides to confront Brian in the most fucking weird way. And he gives him his letter, and Brian's reading his letter, and he's like, Santa, all I want for Christmas,
intervention,
is a Peekaboo Mysterio unidentified flying object toy, so that none of the kids will make fun of me anymore.
With an Omni-Directional Laser Turret.
Yep. And then Santa's like, that's right, that is what you asked for.
I just want to point out one thing really quickly before you end this, which is that 30 seconds before this, I was like, is this going to have some kind of twist ending where it's like the movie Identity, and these are all split personalities of one person that, like, they zoom out to a courtroom and it's the murder trial. Like, what is happening? And they almost go there.
They almost go there because the croquet game could have been the personalities fighting. This is like the underground for Jane.
Yeah.
In Doom Patrol.
Yo,
Yes.
yeah, this is set up as split personalityville.
It's fucking weird. But he's like, Santa, but you never got me that fucking toy.
Gave me that
piece
toy.
of
That's why I'm such a monster now. That's why I'm gonna go to Mars.
Yeah, and he's like, no, Brian.
Bro,
I didn't get you that toy because it never fucking existed to begin with.
it doesn't exist.
You made
And
that
then they
shit up.
And then they have a nostalgia off where Brian, the most divorced man in existence, is like, no. Back in 1989, they made a 5th secret Ninja Turtle. I'm telling you, they made a Picasso. There was a Picasso turtle. And Santa's like, no, you don't understand, Brunt. That was the 1990 special edition, and it was only a skin for Leonardo. It's just like, no, that can't be true. That's impossible. And it's just
he's
melting.
Like, oh yeah? Well, how many super cool ninja sidekicks appeared in this special edition of a set? Oh, it was 20. Ah, you thought it was 20, but it was 19. You're wrong. Well, you would think it was 19, but everybody always forgets the one that's hidden in the John taking a shit.
It's the most fucking absurd shit. And it's all done as like this, you've been lying to yourself, like, you have to confront the truth, Bront, you've got to deal with your past.
See, the reason you're a horrible divorced piece of shit is because your parents divorced when you were a kid, and then you filled it all with nostalgic toys, and buying a space company, and then saying that you developed and designed it all, and
it is
created
incredible.
it from scratch.
Well, this is so parallel.
And Grimes would have never left you if you just stopped talking about fucking.
Oh my god.
It's the fucking best.
And so then Bront decides that the only way to truly confront his past is to personally sit down and engineer out of cornstarch, popsicle sticks, and tinfoil the Mysterio Peekaboo Omni-Directional Laser UFO object toy from his dreams.
Which
he
does.
Which he does, and it's the shittiest looking piece of garbage of all time. To which he then is like, hey, this will make me sexy. And he walks over to his sister girlfriend,
whatever she is.
And goes, hey, I heard you like space. Santa told me that you're really into it. Do you want to see my Mysterio Peekaboo? And she goes, I would love to see your Mysterio
I would love
Peekaboo.
to see that. But it's even weirder because her sister told him that. So that he would schmooze on her. So, like, they're both okay with it.
But they all knew each other.
Yes.
This is the one that I don't get. This is where I was doing research when we took a break after watching the movie, because I was trying to figure out what the fuck the connection is between these all three of these, because they know each other. They spend the whole first, like, 3/4 of this movie talking and bickering, and, like, they all know each other. They know where they're going. And so, like, how does he not know she's into space? How does she not know that he's a rocket scientist? They know each other!
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing he made is
so
this shitty cardboard aluminum thing and aluminum foil. And he calls it a meteorology drone to collect weather data.
Yes, he says that it's actually not a toy. He's made it a real thing.
Which asks a lot of questions of how he made circuit boards and wires and programmed this thing using popsicle sticks, cornstarch, and toothpicks.
Oh, don't worry about that. We're just going to build tunnels underneath the cities.
Yeah,
and
it's
it'll
almost
move
like he's gonna give his engineers a shit idea and then tell them to build it and then take all the credit for it. Like some sort of divorced fucking failure of a billionaire.
Here's our next project. It's the Mysterio Peekaboo Omni-Directional Laser UFO toy / weather drone for NASA.
What the fuck? Anyway, the sister schmoozes on him, and I guess they're related and dating or something. I don't know what's happening. But that's his gift to her, is his science schlong. And the wife of from the Australian couple, her gift to her husband is to apologize for hating him, I think, which is weird.
Yeah, because she
Doesn't
should
really
hate him.
She should still hate him.
She should hate him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's despicable. He's worthy of hate.
And Mrs. Claus gives Andy, the boy, an atlas from the 1800s, which still has sea serpents on it, and tells him to pick a place.
Dragons.
Yeah,
pick a place on this map and go to it.
And go. And then the family walks up to him right afterwards, like, hey, we decided we don't hate each other anymore, and we're going to go on vacation, which we're not at right now. and
I know our next exciting destination to go to. Cleveland,
Ohio. And I've heard of it from the Drew Carey show.
It says that it rocks.
Yes.
Everyone knows that it's the coolest place in America.
Anyways, so they let the kid pick another shitty location to travel to because that's their gift. And then Pops comes out as they're all ready to leave this horrible hellhole. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I finally have a gift for all of you. It's these weird, creepy shots I took of all of you with a camera and then printed in, like, pervert poses. Just for you.
Bront is in a really, really great pose for this one.
He's in a compromising croquet pose.
Yes, he is.
And, like, the thought of your captor giving you a photo of yourself as he lets you go.
As he releases you. Well, let us always remember our time together.
It's so weird.
You've touched those photos. They were coated in a special substance. You have 5 hours to live.
Brian did give Connie one other thing. He stole Mrs. Claus's cookie recipe.
Oh yeah, that she wanted. Yeah.
That she said she would never give out because it's a family secret.
Yeah, so he broke in and stole it.
And then when confronted, because she asked him, did you steal this? He's like, well, which is yes.
Yes, yep. Yeah, that's a yes. That's yep. I committed a crime for you.
Yeah. And then now everybody, because they got a photo of themselves, which look great. She's fantastic at photography.
Uh-huh.
They're all exposed perfectly. They're very well done.
They're fine.
She will do great taking school photos at an elementary school. And
yes, she is a Life Touch photographer in her future.
Or at a Walmart or something. Yeah.
Sears is out of business, so unfortunately some of her life paths have closed.
So now everybody thinks, you know what, maybe photography isn't a bad profession. And we should really respect photographers more.
I guess that they're not all garbage people.
Yeah, maybe not all of them, but most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah, that's the message. And as they're all leaving, because Mike drives back up in his van to pick them up, which begs the question, did he go back through the fog? How did he get here? He left. He escaped.
I don't know. You never actually escape, boys. That's the trick.
Is this whole thing a dream?
This is a Hotel California. You can never leave.
He picks them up, and Pops walks up to Mike, and he's like, oh, by the way, I also got a gift for you. And it's a photo of Mike. How did he take the photo of Mike?
He never left.
Mike was gone.
Mike was in the bad place the whole time. One of the best parts about that, too, is that he's like, oh, by the way, I'm Santa Claus. And he's like, well, yeah, duh. And just gets back in the van and leaves.
Well, yeah, duh. Your
Mrs.
wife
Claus
gave me a fucking
card.
card.
It said Mrs.
Idiot.
Claus. Of course you're Santa.
Dumbass.
I'm not a fucking moron.
This movie is like a Twilight Zone episode, or more of Tales from the Crypt, I would say.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah, the whole thing here begs the question, like, did they die? Was this a dream? And the last seconds of their life as they're hanging off of a cliff, like, what happened?
I don't think it begs the question. I think it answers the question, and the answer is absolutely. This is the finale episode of Lost. They all died.
Why was there a stump with a giant
Spoiler.
cock wearing go-go boots in every scene?
We don't need to talk about the giant tree dick anymore. It's okay.
Why? But they prominently showed it in every fucking scene.
In almost pretty much every scene, yeah, there is that giant tree dick.
And it just begs the question, why is that there? Who put that there? Why did they think to shoot
here?
every scene?
Is this my beautiful
what? Is this my beautiful resort? It also begs the question, why is this a dog movie?
Well, because there's a dog in it. Let's rate that dog. It's a little corgi. It shows up for 2 scenes in 30 seconds.
In the opening credits, which are also the closing credits, because it's all of the credits,
yeah,
they introduced special guest star Tess. And I was Googling Tess, because I'm like, who the fuck is Tess?
Yeah, they made this a big deal.
And it turns out Tess is a corgi who was popular on Tumblr and Instagram as a hiking corgi. And that is the corgi they got from the film. And what does Tess do in this movie? That is a good question.
Tess shows up when they're in the hot tub behind Santa, and then he gives her a little bit of a scratch, and then she wanders away and never shows up again.
Tess only appears in Santa's shadow.
Yeah? Are you saying that she's Santa's stand?
Yes! That is what I think.
Because I'll believe that.
We can't see the stand.
Spirit aura.
Yeah, we can't see the stand most of the time, except when Tess wants to be seen. Right?
Okay.
And Tess is using her secret power of jingle bells, which causes a croquet match
to happen at any point.
Oh
my god, and the winner of that croquet match, if you win the croquet match, you're allowed out of limbo. Alright, this is actually a JoJo power.
And this makes more sense because of the croquet picture.
Yes, yeah, he does this to everyone. He goes around the world trapping souls into croquet matches.
Yeah, and the whole time Jotaro was like, yes. As he's playing croquet.
God.
This is what happens. It has to be. I think Tess...
Are you going to throw this game to be a shitty husband to your wife? Yes.
I don't know why Tess was in this movie, and it was a bait and switch, and I'm very upset.
They put also... I mean, not her even. It's not, like, this is the thing.
It's a different dog. Yeah.
So they get an Instagram star dog, and they make a big deal out of it in the credits. And then they take a photo of all the cast on the cover, but not the fucking dog. They put a different dog in the middle, and like it's in the middle, like it's front and center. This dog is bigger than any other person in the photo. It looks like a dog movie. It's set up as a dog movie.
But also, this is some of the most wild shit I've ever seen. So
yeah,
I have to give Tess like a 12 out of 10 just for directing us to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Tess an Ouroboros out of 10 because she can never leave. it's unending. You never leave Santa's summer home. And that's
yeah. I don't think we can top this for Christmas films. I really don't. Yeah.
This is certainly I would want to say that I think I had about as much of a baffling experience with Santa's cocaine klepto party, where they're shrinking down Swedish
Where there's all the
actresses,
fetishes? Yeah.
and having kids scream and snort cocaine and throw candy canes and Skittles on pizza. Because I think that one's up there. That one's up there.
Yeah, that one's also pretty good, but
there's
it doesn't have the horror
Santa
element.
films. No,
Right?
Well, Anyway, this has been Rough Cuts. I'm good. I'm down. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate it. You can check us out. We'll put up some clips and photos and stuff of this film on some of our many social media accounts. Twitter, well, it still exists, at Rough Cuts Cast. You can find us on cohost.org at cohost.org/roughcuts. TikTok, we're Rough Cuts also. And if you ever want to just send us an email, you can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com.
We also have a Patreon.
We do also have a Patreon. We spent money to buy this film to watch. A real American dollar.
This is
Short
the
a penny.
cheapest rental I've ever had on the.
It was 99 cents. One of the best things is it was one of the cheapest rentals. It was probably one of the best rentals. Like, I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. You should watch this thing. If you appreciate bad movies, it's a high recommend for me.
The shaky cam real-time croquet game.
Well, you have two.
I got two.
Oh my god.
A little bit on the first one. There you go, right there, right there.
All right.
Now, right in the center.
Yep. Nope. They couldn't even get good shots of them doing tricks.
You roll over there.
11 minutes later.
I need a... I might go grab a whiskey or something. I need something. This is too much. This is too much.
You jinxed
What the fuck? Dude! What is that shot? Oh my god.
No, leave him alone.
Come on.
My whole life ruined by dogs.